Hey, it's Riley. Today I am 3 months on testosterone, and today's video comes in 6 parts. So, part 1. I'm home for the summer. The last couple weeks of school were really stressful, so I'm kind of glad to be here. But it's also kind of interesting, because it's the first time I've lived with my immediate family in the same house since I came out to them. But it's been really good. When they do mess up on name and pronouns, which they don't do very often, they immediately correct themselves. In fact, I haven't had to correct anyone recently because I've actually started to pass with strangers, even after I talk, which is kind of awesome. So much so that when I was showing the guy at the gym my ID card, he was like, "That's not you, is it?" So apparently I'm definitely passing. But that brings up part 2, which is legal name and gender change. I want to get that done, just because it's kind of starting to get inconvenient, but I'm holding off because there is a new bill in California that will make it a lot easier. It'll kind of streamline the process. It'll get rid of the requirement that you have to have a court hearing and talk to a judge, and it will get rid of the requirement that you will have to post it in a newspaper for 4 weeks, which basically means that you won't have to pay it out yourself, because that's what that does. But I'm not going to rant about that this time. So hopefully that will pass soon. If it does, I will do it then. If it doesn't, I will probably get over it and just do it soon-ish. But like I said, I don't really want to pay it out myself. Part 3, emotions. In my last video, I talked a lot about anger. That anger is completely gone. It just left. I don't know. It was probably a combination of stress related to school and the people I was living with, and I don't know. But it's not there anymore, so I don't have to worry about that, which is nice. But I do have to worry about depression, which is the other emotional thing that's been happening. I definitely had a recurrence. It felt exactly like it did the first time, except I didn't let it get as bad as it did the first time, because I knew what to look for. So after it had been a week and I hadn't gone to any classes and I barely left my apartment, I kind of knew. So I talked to my psychiatrist, she upped my dose, and right now we're just kind of waiting for it to take its full effect and see if we need to do anything else. But it definitely has had some effect because I'm feeling a lot better. Even with coming home and not having things to do, because I kind of snapped out of it for finals week, but I haven't snapped back into it, so I'm not completely better, but I am working on it. And I'm definitely headed in the right direction with that. Part 4, histo. So we're going to talk about my menstrual history now. Fun times. So before T, my period was the most dysphoric part about my month. It was horrible. I dreaded it every time. And then after T, I only had 1 period, and then it was gone. For 2 whole months, I didn't have a period. It was so great. And then, about a week ago, I started spotting. And it was this horrible reminder that I still have those parts. And it kind of prompted me to start looking into getting a hysterectomy. So I had done some research, looking for surgeons in the general area of where I will be living in the time that I will be wanting to get it, which is probably in the next year or so. And it just, the reason I'm holding off a little bit is because I want to make sure that T is really the right thing for me. So I want to give it a couple more months and just kind of see where I'm at. At this point, it's definitely feeling like this is right. And so I will probably go ahead with a hysterectomy and ovarectomy. Because I have a history of cancer in those parts in my family, so it just makes sense. Like, I just don't want them there. Just go away. Part 5. Just kind of general changes that aren't that exciting because it's more of the same, but they're still good. The obvious one is voice. Like I said, I've been passing more, so it's changed enough that I've started to pass as male, which is nice. It's also cracking, which is not so nice, but that'll pass. Muscle growth. That's been good. I've gained a total of 15 pounds or so. It kind of fluctuates. Since starting T. And most of that has been muscle, especially since I started swimming, which I did do, which has been good. And the last change I want to talk about is hair growth. Arm hair is kind of the same. Nothing really has changed there, but leg hair has started to get darker and a little bit thicker, especially in the top half of my leg, which is really blonde still, but it's starting to get darker. So, getting hairier, and facial hair is also a thing. It actually got long enough that I felt like it was worth it to shave it yesterday. So I did that. That was cool. And finally, part 6, which is outro thing. Excuse me. Hopefully I will be able to make more videos now that I am home and don't have school to worry about, but no promises. Because I procrastinate. There definitely won't be any in the next 4 or so days because I am going camping with my family. The end.